Most guys think they're bad at talking to girls. They're wrong. That's not the problem at all. The real problem is something nobody ever teaches you. And it's quietly killing your first impressions, your talking stages, and every conversation that had potential but went nowhere. This video is about how to fix it. You're going to learn a simple system for asking better questions, even if you freeze up, even if conversation feels forced, even if you never know what to say after the opener. And I'm going to hold one technique back until the very end, because without the context that builds up to it, it won't land the way it needs to. Stay with me. Here's something that should bother you. Why does every conversation with a girl you actually music? Feel like it dies after 30 seconds. You open, she responds. Music, you respond. It fizzles every time. And here's the part that stinks. It's not because you're boring. It's not because you're not her type. It's because of one habit you've built without even realizing it. You answer and you stop. She asks how your weekend was. You say, good, pretty chill. She says, same. Done. Two people side by side communicating almost nothing. We are so efficient with language that we completely fail to be effective with it. And this is where most guys get it wrong. They think the fix is having better openers, funnier lines, a more interesting life to talk about, music, a sharper personality. But that's not it. Not even close. What if the real problem isn't what you're saying, but what you're not asking? Music. Here's what I mean. Every time you answer and stop, you just slam the door shut on the conversation. Music, on the tension, on whatever connection could have been building. This happens on dates. Music. It happens over text. It happens in that first conversation where everything felt like it could go somewhere and then somehow didn't. But here's the part that actually changes music everything. There are only 2 levels to any conversation, and almost nobody ever reaches level 2. Music, not because they can't, because nobody showed them what it looks like. I'm going to show you right now. Why do some of you miss this, guys? See music. Effortlessly magnetic in conversation, while others say all the right things and still get left on red. The answer is not what you'd expect. It's not looks. It's not confidence. It's not even what they're saying. It's automation. Your brain has been running the same conversational script since you were a teenager. She says, how are you? Your brain fires back the fastest answer, music, in storage. Good, not bad, pretty tired. LOL, no thought, pure reflex. That's level 1. And here's the cold truth. Most guys never leave it. They text from level 1. They go on dates from level 1. They wonder why things never go deeper, and the answer is sitting right there. Level 2 is almost embarrassingly simple. You answer and then you ask something back. Pretty good, actually. What about you? That's it. That's the whole upgrade. But watch what those few words actually do. She realizes you're engaged. The conversation has somewhere to go. The energy shifts because now it's a real exchange, not just 2 people trading one-word replies. But here's the part most guys still miss even after they understand this. What happens when she actually gives you a real answer and you have no idea what to ask next? That's not a confidence problem. That's a listening problem. And the fix for it is hiding in a word you already know. I'll show you in a second, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Remember when we're building toward a complete system for asking better questions? Music, even when conversation doesn't come naturally. But first, here's something that's going to sound like a coincidence. It's not. Look at the word you're trapped listening. L-I-S-T-E-N, 6 letters. Now, take those exact same 6 letters and rearrange them. Silent. Pause on that. Why does that matter when you're talking to someone you're attracted to? Because real listening, the kind that makes someone feel genuinely seen, requires you to go quiet. Not just physically quiet, mentally quiet. No preloading your next line. No thinking about how you're coming across. Just actually receiving what she's saying. And almost nobody does this. Here's what we do instead. She mentioned she just got back from a trip. Before she finishes the sentence, your brain is already loading. Oh, cool. I've been places too. Let me think of something interesting to say about travel. And this is exactly where most guys lose the moment. Not because they said the wrong thing, because they stopped listening before she stopped talking. Here's what it looks like when you actually listen. She mentions she went to a concert. You ask who she saw. She tells you. You ask who she went with. She says her best friend. It was kind of a spontaneous thing. They almost didn't go. You ask what made them decide to go last minute. She lights up. Now she's telling you a story about her friendship, her personality, music, the kind of person she is, and you got all of that without preparing a single question in advance. Every question came from her last answer, not from your head, from hers. That's the loop most guys never enter. And once you're in it, conversation stops feeling like work. She's engaged. She's opening up. And here's the thing, she's actually feeling. Even if she can't name it, this guy actually listens. In a world full of guys performing for attention, that alone makes you different. But knowing this still isn't enough, because there's one more layer, and this is the one that explains why some guys get deep, meaningful conversations while others get polite, small talk that goes nowhere. What happens when she's enjoying conversation, but doesn't feel that pull toward you specifically? And that's the next piece. And this is where it gets really interesting. What I'm about to show you sounds like it's about a pen. Stay with me, because it's not about the pen at all. Why do two no one wants you guys with similar personalities get completely different responses from the same girl? Here's the experiment. A pen sits on a table at a yard sale. How much is it? A nickel, maybe 75 cents. Take that exact same pen. Put it in a velvet-lined mahogany box. Place that box in a spotlight glass cabinet. Put the cabinet inside Harrods in London. Send Pierre over in white gloves to present it. Same pen, completely different world around it. How much is it now? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The thing is never what creates the value. Everything surrounding it does. And this is where it snaps directly back to attraction, because this is the connection most people never make. What do great questions actually do in social interaction? They build the world around you. When you ask someone a real question and actually listen to the answer, you're not just being polite. You're creating an experience. You're making her feel like the most interesting person in the room. You're building something around a conversation that makes the whole interaction feel different from every other one she's had that week. Guys who try to impress lead with themselves. They talk about their job, their gym routine, their opinions. They're showing her the pen and hoping she sees the value. Guys who actually connect lead with curiosity. They ask, they listen, they make her feel seen, and by the time she's walking away from that conversation, she's not thinking about what he said. She's thinking about how she felt. That gap you write, there's where attraction either builds or disappears. So, how do you actually put all of this together into something you can use starting today in the very next conversation you have? That's the final piece. And this is the one I've been building towards since the first second of this video. This is all still about one thing: how to ask better questions, and why it's the most attractive thing you can do in any conversation. Here's where everything clicks. And I mean 10-14 fix it now everything. Why do some guys walk into any room, any date, any first conversation, any DM, and immediately make people feel something? It's not their looks. It's not their status. It's not their opener. It's one decision they've made that most guys never make. They decided to be interested instead of trying to be interesting. Think about how differently that plays out. Most guys walk into a conversation trying to say the right thing, try to sound cool, trying to give the impression that their life is exciting and worth her attention. They're managing their image in real time, which means they're barely present for the actual person in front of them. And this is a trap, because the more you try to be interesting, the less interesting you actually become. Here's the technique. And this is what I held back at the start. It's called the level 2 loop. 3 steps. S to learn. A lifetime to master. Step 1. Answer whatever she asked or said. Short, real, no performance. Step 2. Immediately ask one question back. Either a natural follow-up or something that comes directly from what she just shared. Step 3. Go quiet. Don't think about what you'll say next. Don't check how you're coming across. Just listen. Actually listen, and let her answer become your next question. Repeat, why does this actually work? Because she's not going to remember the specific things you said. She's going to remember how the conversation felt, whether she felt heard, Whether she felt like you actually gave a damn about what she was saying, not just what she looked like. That's what creates real attraction, not performance. Presence, that's the whole system. Level 2 answers, real listening. Curiosity over performance. And the one line I want you to carry out of this video, the one worth writing down, the one worth actually thinking about. Most guys spend their whole lives trying to be interesting. The ones who actually connect learn to be interested. Start there. Start with the next conversation. Don't stop at a one-word answer. Respond and ask something back. Watch what opens up. Thanks for watching, and until next.